Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV. We're here with the build-up. I'm here with Harvey.
I'm glad to be back. It's been a while since I've done a build-up.
How was your international break?
My international break was great. I can't say I watched any of the England games. I only watched the highlights.
I kept a little bit of an eye on San Marino, obviously with Smith Rowe,
huge
Saka,
team,
Ramsdale,
huge
all that.
team. I saw the goals,
but
saw all the stuff from
England came through. I got to be honest. I've said it for a long time. I don't really like this international break.
I hate the international break.
The one thing I quite like about Arsene Wenger's proposal for a regular World Cup is that they're going to kind of, how do I put it? They're going to streamline the process of these international breaks and everything. So I mean, that's one thing. I'm ready to be back here talking about Arsenal.
We are back. We're back. And what better game to start off with?
Or what worse game? Listen, there's going to be two ways to think about it. I've been getting more nervous as we've kind of been nearing kickoff, as we've been nearing this day. It's a massive test for Arsenal. I think it's a massive opportunity to show everyone that these performances, this run, these 2 months, these new signings, this is not just a moment.
This is the test. This is a huge test for Arteta. This is a huge test for Arsenal. This is a huge test for all of our players. A huge test for the players that have maybe taken some other players' slots as of late. You know, a big test for Ramsdale, I would say. Huge test for, well, it depends if Tierney or Tavares is starting. Yeah. Huge test for them, both of them. The midfield. Huge test for Aubameyang as well, I think. It's a huge game. It's a huge game.
I agree. I think there's very few players who aren't needing to prove something today. I look at someone like Thomas Partey and I think, you know, Partey doesn't need to prove anything today. We've seen that he can be a world-class midfielder on his day. Hopefully he plays. And if he turns up, he's crucial. But there's going to be others who, Ben White and Gabriel, who've been absolutely lauding, and Ramsdale, and I think rightly so. Yes, there's been Villa in there. There's been Leicester away. There's been the North London derby. But critics, maybe fairly, have been saying, well, cool, but you've not really played anyone yet.
Yeah, Mo Salah's next. So...
and that's a real test. Does Tierney come back in? So, guys, we're going to be talking about all those things. We'll be getting Harvey's thoughts around the game as well. But I think the first thing to start with is the kind of live games going on now.
There's quite a few going on. Quite a few.
There are. Let's get up the fixtures because Chelsea did get a 3-0 win at Leicester. I like to think we showed them the blueprint for going and getting 2 goals early in that first half against Leicester.
I hope so.
No, but I mean, Chelsea look a dead cert for the title race, don't they?
I think so. I mean, Liverpool are not too far behind, although I believe a win could send us above them.
But you know the reason I say they look a dead cert for the title race? People might think, obviously, they're top. What's the stupid thing to say?
No. The players they've got, the way they play, the way they dominate games... I agree with you.
I just think there was always a feeling that City and Liverpool might pull away, and Chelsea have started well, but it will fade at some point. But then they go to Leicester and make it look easy on the back of, don't forget, drawing at home with Burnley, just before the international break. So, there could have been a little bit of nerviness going into this first game, kicking off the weekend, and what's going to be a really long run now until the next international break in March. Yep. But they've made it look easy. You got the rest of the live scores as things are going on.
I do. So as you said, Chelsea 3-0 against Leicester. Villa versus Brighton is 0-0 as it stands. Burnley are 2-1 up against Crystal Palace.
Okay, they're starting to show some form.
Newcastle 1, Brentford 2.
Wow.
What was that now? I think
Newcastle 1-0 up in that game.
It might have an updated score. Here we go. Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 2. They just scored. Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 2. Newcastle are 2-1 down against Brentford. Newcastle at home. Newcastle 1, Brentford 2.
Did they go 1-0 up?
Let's double check that.
I think I did. I think I saw Lascelles put them 1-0 up.
I think you're right. Let's double check. Yes, you're correct. Wow. 10 minutes in, then Tony made it 1-1, 11 minutes in. So, yeah, Brentford are winning that game now. Norwich 1, Southampton 1. Watford 1, Man United 0. And that's with a missed penalty for United as well. So, 37 minutes gone in that game. Watford are 1-0 up. Blimey. Wolves 0, West Ham 0. And then at 5:30, we've obviously got Liverpool versus Arsenal. And then tomorrow, as you've got there, Man City versus Everton, very big game. Tottenham versus Leeds, another decent game.
You know what's crazy about this? And I always have this moment where I sort of stop and think. I looked at Chelsea winning and my gut went, oh, Chelsea winning. But I always have to keep stopping and reminding myself that we want Leicester, Villa, Brighton, Man United, West Ham and Wolves. We want them all to drop points.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not looking at the same teams anymore. Okay, Man United, sure, but I'm not looking at the same teams and I dare I say haven't been for a while. But that's the crazy thing. City, Everton tomorrow, we want City to win that.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the mad thing. Unless we go on a serious run. Like, if we beat Liverpool today, and then we say, if we win our next four,
run. We have a hard run.
Or even actually, that's unrealistic. If we were to draw Liverpool today, but then we beat Newcastle, United, and Everton in our next three, then people start throwing the TR word, title race.
No.
Which we're not.
No.
I'm not saying we're going to be in.
No.
But I'm saying then you start looking at teams like Chelsea.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right.
But
Then you start looking at Chelsea and Man City and start hoping that they might drop points because you're hoping for that Leicester season, that miracle. But I'm not even looking at those teams because I'm just focused on top four feels within touching distance, but still so unlikely.
Yeah.
That I'm like, it's hard. I don't know. I just need Arsenal to do the job.
It's a very broad question. Do you genuinely think Arteta can get us top four? It's a yes, no. Like, I just want. Do you think he can, or do you think he can't?
I think he has the ability as a coach to do it.
Yeah. But this season, I think top six has to happen. Has to.
Oh, I think he does.
Top six
question.
minimum.
I think a lot of that question is going to be answered today. A top four side goes to Liverpool, doesn't roll over, but certainly gives them a really good game. You know, Liverpool will be looking at the rest of the top four and thinking this is probably where it's going to be tricky dropping points. So if we want to be in that top four, we've got to be one of those sides today.
Yeah, spot on.
So yeah, let's see. But anyway, shall we get into the match facts?
Yeah, talk to me about it. What are the stats looking like?
Not great.
I mean, I know.
When
I know.
ever.
Yeah, well. Is there another record for Arteta to break this time?
Hopefully some good ones.
Some good ones.
I mean, if he breaks them, then they're good things. Because you'll see now. Let's look at the first fun fact. Liverpool have won their last 5 home Premier League matches against Arsenal, netting at least 3 goals in every single win. That is 5 home league games against us. 5 home league games. They scored 3, at least 3 in every single one.
That's the last 5 seasons.
There was also the 5-5 that went to. Yeah, there was that.
But that means,
we kept them to 1 in the
3 goals in every game
in the Community Shield. But I mean, it's
there's no explaining out of that one. I just don't understand.
We've actually gone in decent form at times.
Yeah,
that's what's quite
and
scary.
they always just sit us down.
We've actually gone like decent form at times to Anfield, where we've been. How do I put it? Like, I thought, well, did they end the Emery? No, it was Southampton.
Yeah,
Southampton ended the Emery run. But I don't think we were in a bad place when we went there. And
No,
then they
but
just beat us 5-1 like it was nothing.
It's all this game. Whenever we play, it's a known. Listen, your fact says it straight. It's a known fact. Whenever we play Liverpool, it's a tough game.
Yeah.
And we find it hard. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, we always end up playing Liverpool at like evening games or like later games.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It always seems
You're
to be like, I can always remember like.
Yeah, it always feels like it's Anfield under the lights.
Under the lights, and it just makes it a bit more intense. I mean,
I feel last season we were slightly hardly done by because I know we lost 3-1 and 3-1 always sounds like a bit of a battering. But in reality, again, we go 1-0 up. It's 2-1 for most of the game. Lacazette misses a handful of really big chances. Liverpool were the much better side in that game, but again, you know, they get that kind of late goal, should have been a handball. 2-1 always feels different to 3-1, you know what I mean? So yeah, not looking forward to what could be another.
Is there a nicer
score,
fact for us?
Don't know. Should we have a look at fun fact too? Let's have a little look. So this is not better. This isn't better because it starts with since Jurgen Klopp. Since Jurgen Klopp took charge of Liverpool, Arsenal have won just 1 of 11 Premier League games against the Reds, with 3 draws and 7 defeats in them. The Gunners came from 1-0 down to win 2-1 at the Emirates in July 2020. You all right?
Am I meant to say something back?
Well, I was just wondering.
I know that's how this show works.
Yeah, I'm
not really sure what to say. Watford have scored again.
No way.
They've scored again. Salah has scored. It's Watford 2, Man
Palace
United
3-2
0.
up at Burnley.
Amazing. Wow.
And then Newcastle have equalised.
What is this?
Okay.
There are goals in. Sorry about that, James.
No
There are
worries.
goals in this weekend.
This is just goals galore.
There are
happening.
goals.
Okay. I mean,
Ollie's
I'm
at the
kind
wheel.
of hoping that's not the case at Anfield.
For us.
Oh my word! So Watford are 2-0 up against Man United.
Wow.
Newcastle and Brentford are level, and Palace, who only 5 minutes ago were 2-1 down.
Now 3-2 up.
Unbelievable.
Ollie's at the wheel. Tell me, how good does it feel?
I tell you what, it's Ismail Assar just before half time.
Wow,
staggering. Fair
amazing.
enough.
Back to the facts, but yeah, we never really beat Liverpool. We always find it a tough game. It's famously a huge fixture, and it always will be, I think. But
it's funny because we went through a period of not really fearing Liverpool before Jurgen Klopp.
That's when they were having their Arsenal period. Do you know what I mean?
And I know Brendan Rodgers did their whole 5-1 against us in the 13-14 season, but that was at the time a bit of an anomaly. Before that, we used to have a lot of fun at Anfield. The 4-4, I remember us beating them 2-1, the Arshavin goal in that game as well.
Yeah.
Van Persie's winner, Podolski and Cazorla.
But since then, you're right, since Klopp, and the stat is literally since Klopp, he's absolutely
torn us apart.
Yeah, but how many of those games have been with Arteta? Not many at all.
Well, actually, one of the things I'm going to go into the breakdown a little bit later is that because Arteta, I think, might have been... He's definitely been the best out of him, Emery and Wenger.
Lundberg as well, in that short period.
Although Lundberg didn't play Liverpool,
No,
I
don't think so.
He's definitely been the best Arsenal manager we've had in terms of building a system that counters what Liverpool do best. So, look forward to going to all that. Let's have a little look at the third fun fact here. Arsenal are now on the longest unbeaten run. And it's a good fact.
You got us one. Nice one,
We've
James.
got a good one. Arsenal are now on the longest unbeaten run of any side in the Premier League with 6 wins and 2 draws in the last 8 games. The Gunners last had a longer run without defeat in the competition between August and December 2018.
I remember that.
Which was the 14 games under Unai Emery.
Peak of second half Arsenal, and now we seem to be first half Arsenal. Do you know what I mean?
I have never heard that terminology before.
You never heard second half Arsenal?
No.
That's what we were whenever with Emery. Remember, we used to always do really badly in the first half, turn it around in the second half. Now with Arteta, we seem to be on it at the start of the game, and then it tends to drop off at the second half.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've trademarked that one. You can use it, but I need credit.
I quite like that. It's better, yeah.
Listen, that's positive.
The fixtures have been somewhat favourable. There's absolutely no doubt about that. The fixtures have been somewhat favourable, but there have also been games in there, as we mentioned, Leicester, Villa, Spurs, that are awkward. And we've sort of come through. Do you know what? Maybe awkward's being harsh on those sides. They are tricky, and we've come through them pretty comfortably in all of them. So yeah. It's a nice stat.
Listen, I like that stat. There's no reason why we can't continue it. As you say, we've had some tough games recently, and we've kept going. This is going to be a very tough game.
Yep.
But
it absolutely is.
Speaking
of this particular fixture, so not just Liverpool, Arsenal in general, but specific fixture at Anfield, I want to ask you, I'm going to ask the comment section as well, send your results in. What do you think is the most frequent score? Actually, this is a nice little quiz question. The most frequent score when Arsenal travel to Liverpool?
We always lose, so...
Well, is that what you're thinking?
Is this ever? This is Premier League.
So I want the exact score. So whether it's a 2-1, a 3-2, it's in the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
The most frequent score in this game.
I'm either going to go 2-1 or a 3-1. I'm going to go 2-1.
2?
Is it 2 to Liverpool?
2-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's the most frequent scoreline. Guys, what do you think?
What do you guys think? We got Philip said 3-1.
Philip thinks it's 3-1 to Liverpool. Okay.
2-1. I know we've got smashed the last few seasons, but
I think I'm just going to give you a clue. I think there's a little bit of recency bias here, because
are we winning most of these?
I'm just going to say
maybe I should go 2-1 Arsenal.
It's not as
we've got KS has gone 2-2.
Yeah.
Jeremy's gone 7-1
to Arsenal. Yeah, I can confirm it's not that.
Not that. 3-3.
3-3.
3-1,
3-1, 1-1.
1-2, 2-0 to Arsenal, 4-0 Arsenal. They're very broad. There isn't one answer. 1-0, 3-3, 3-1. Craig's gone 3-0.
It is a high scoring game.
TA's gone 2-2. HM's gone 2-2. 4-0 Arsenal, 10-0 Arsenal.
Yeah. Well,
the answer.
They're on screen now, as you can see.
1-0.
Yep. The most frequent score is 1-1 at Anfield.
My answer isn't
also,
even in the...
Second most frequent is 2-1 to Arsenal at Anfield. I know.
Wow.
Who'd have thought? Then it's on 5 occasions we've seen Liverpool beat us 1-0 and the two sides draw 0-0 as well. On 4 occasions, so as frequently as Liverpool beat us 3-1, we have beaten them 2-0 at that place. I remember because all of Podolski.
I said 2-1 and 2-1 isn't even in the...
2-1 to Liverpool isn't even there. I think when they beat us, they tend to destroy us. Which I think that tends to be how it works. And then on 3 occasions, they've beaten us 4-0, 2-0. And there has been a 2-2 draw there 3 times as
1-0
well.
and a 0. I feel like there's goals in this game. I really do. Which is a shame because Ramsdale's been exceptional and he's kept clean sheets, made some exceptional saves. I do think there's going to be a couple past him.
Oh,
I know.
no,
I know.
come on.
I don't want to be that
Ramsdale.
guy.
You can do it.
I love Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah,
absolutely love him. He's proved everyone wrong.
No, he has.
Everyone.
Yeah, he's been absolutely terrific. I really hope he gets his.
Wow.
His clean sheet today, and I think what Gabriel, White, and that central midfield partnership in front of him do will be crucial. Right, guys, we're going to take a little. What's it called? We're going to move to box. I was going to say we'll take a little break. We're not taking a break.
We're going to do a Thomas Partey and go from this box to the other box.
We wanted to hear. Obviously, we had Grizz on talking to Turkish.
Yeah.
I always love hearing what the opposition fans think. And we wanted you guys to hear this particular segment before we break down Liverpool and what we're really expecting from a tactical perspective. Let's have a hear what Grizz had to say.
This season and previous 2-3 seasons, as I was saying, I done a preview on my channel as well, I was like, we come back hard from a defeat. And unfortunately, it's Arsenal next in our firing line. And if you add that to the record of you guys coming to Anfield, I don't know, bro. I know you're going, and I was like, I was talking you out of it, like, I want you to save your money and shit, man. Travel costs.
I'll see you there,
you know
bro.
what I mean? I don't know, man. If it's worth it for you, but nah. Listen, from our point of view, I'm not gonna lie. Normal seasons, if you're looking to come back from a defeat, I'm not gonna lie. I would look to get Arsenal at home. Yeah. To get back on track. But
that's got a recent record, I guess. Yeah.
But saying all that, you're not looking good so far. Last 10 games, we spoke about it before on the Big Six. Last 10 games, you've got some sort of structure going on there, some sort of energy back. Yeah. You could make it difficult for us.
We could make it difficult for them.
I
listened to Grizz on Big Six. Go check out Big Six on Turkish's channel as well. It's a great show. I love it. And Liverpool fans are confident they'll beat us, and rightly so. They should be. But they do have that sense of, this isn't like other years where they thought we're going to batter them, we're going to score lots of goals, we're going to have a lot of fun here. I really hope for whatever Arsenal do today, win, lose or draw, we serve up a real contest. And it's interesting to hear others saying that. What's your gut feeling telling you? Do you feel we're going... Well, do you think we're going with a different Arsenal? But is this a different Liverpool for you in terms of, we've seen them drop points the last 2 games. How are you feeling about them?
Okay, I'm going to be honest. So, obviously, we had our 1 million follower party the other day. Alex was there from Cop TV, Doyle. Obviously, Grizz has just spoken as well. Okay, Liverpool fans are not confident, but they are somewhat confident in the sense that they're looking at it in the way like, oh yeah, we're Liverpool. We're Liverpool. Like, why should this be a problem? We have Salah, that's fine. So in terms of our defence, I think Ramsdale's been exceptional. I think it's going to be a difficult game for our back four. But I trust our back four. I think they're going to do a good job today. I think they're going to break. I think they're going to not be as easy to break down as they normally would be. My only worry is our attack, because we have a good attack. It's just sometimes in these kind of games they just disappear. So in my gut feeling, all right, I think there's going to be goals. I think we're going to grab a couple. I still think Liverpool are going to come back on top, come out on top. But I don't know. I think looking at Liverpool, they're a different Liverpool. I do think they're a different Liverpool, but I just think
a worse Liverpool.
Maybe not. No, I don't say worse. Just different. They're not the Champions League winning, title winning Liverpool that they have been.
They remind me of Liverpool almost in Klopp's kind of second or third year, where you knew they were formidable going forwards. They do look a little bit leaky at the back at times.
That's what I mean, which is why I have confidence in our defence. I'm just not sure if I'm as confident in our attack as I am in their attack, in the sense that I think they're going to break us down, or they're going to try to break us down, and they're going to be better at breaking us down than we're going to be breaking them down, if that makes sense, just because of the way that they play. I don't know. I'm not confident. I'm not confident.
This is why you're not confident.
I feel like this is a game. Okay, if we can win this game. I'm not sure if we will, but this is a game I'm going into. I think we can. There's other teams.
There's a reason you're worried, and I think these numbers tell it. If you look at Jurgen Klopp versus Arsenal, I think what's interesting, this takes into account the games against Dortmund as well. 9 wins against us, 4 draws, but 6 defeats. Now, that's a little bit higher than I thought. I didn't realise we'd beaten him on 6 occasions, but yeah, a lot of that must have been back in the Dortmund days. We scored 56 goals. Sorry, we haven't. They've scored 56 goals against us. We've scored 42 against them, against Jurgen Klopp. He's very good against us. He's got a system that we have found very hard to play against. I remember when we lost 2-0 in Dortmund, and they just absolutely pressed us into submission. Like they just have this way of making you kind of collapse under their pressure, under their press, their energy.
They're Liverpool. Like, I look at this, they're Liverpool. It doesn't matter. Like, when I look at teams, look at Arsenal now, and they're just like, well, yeah, it's Arsenal, but okay. But as of late, fine. Yeah, we've been, as of recent, as of late, whatever. We've been good. I don't know. I feel like we can beat this Liverpool side, but I think they're still going to beat us. I'm trying to be confident here, but I can't be.
No, I hear that. I mean, let's look at their head-to-head, Jurgen Klopp versus Mikel Arteta. And I think this is where, again, it gets quite interesting. So in terms of wins each, well, Klopp's beaten us twice. Arteta has beaten Klopp once, but I've got brackets 3 times because it does include... what does it include? Well, we beat them on penalties in the Carabao Cup and the Community Shield. Yeah. So we have twice, in terms of knocking them out and getting over the line and ultimately getting the win, we've not done it in 90 minutes, or only on the one occasion, and that was when Lacazette and Reece Nelson, again behind closed doors though. See, there's all these kind of he's beaten them 3 times, but there's almost like context to each one. We've scored 5 goals. Arteta scored 5 goals against Klopp, 8 on Klopp's side of things. I looked at the money spent as well. They spent nearly £250 million more. And I think that kind of just tells you where they are in their development and building of these sides. When I was looking at the money Liverpool spent, I've got to say, I did have a moment of, wow, I didn't realise
I didn't realise either.
You know, they really have spent, they really have invested.
But where they've spent, they've also sold, haven't they?
That's the thing. So, Liverpool fans will point to how well they've sold and recuperated funds, and that's absolutely fine. But if we're talking about the quality of player in that team right now, you know, £478 million of it was spent by Jurgen Klopp, and I guess it's kind of no surprise they're as good as they are when they've got a manager of his caliber and they spend that kind of money. Arteta, he's nowhere near that in terms of spending yet, but has also spent a lot of money, and we'd expect that at least this team can be competitive going against them. Premier League win percentage, obviously it's much better for Jurgen Klopp. He's got a Premier League title, he's got the Champions League win, and Mikel Arteta has an FA Cup, which
and
is not to laugh at. It's a,
and a Community Shield, James.
Don't
forget the Community Shield.
Sorry, and the Community Shield. Let's go into some other kind of more detailed stats. I'm going to go to Tactical Pad in a sec, but before we do, this is a little set of numbers that Cecil put together, and I think they're really interesting. We talked about this in the warm-up. I don't know if you've checked it out. If you haven't, he's talking about Liverpool's right-hand side being so key. You know, you look at Mo Salah, he's got the most goals with 10. He's also got the most assists with 7. He's also attempted the most dribbles with 45. This is in the Premier League. You then go to Trent Alexander-Arnold behind him, who's attempted the most crosses and has the most interceptions for Liverpool. These are 2 players that are key to what Liverpool do. Not just for goals, assists and dribbles attempted, but a big threat is their cross. It's their quality of delivery, how efficient they are. They don't have a target man up front, yet they are so efficient when they get the ball into the box. And again, we mentioned the press, interceptions, things like that. So what I wanted to kind of illustrate was something I've noticed about Liverpool this season, and how Jurgen Klopp doesn't always get credited with being a tactical genius in the same way maybe Pep Guardiola or Thomas Tuchel does. He actually gets a lot of plaudits for his man management. He gets a lot of plaudits for his energy, his philosophy. He kind of doesn't compromise. It's always about the high press and all that. But I do think they do things tactically a little bit more. Let me say, I just think he deserves a bit more credit for the things he does tactically. And I want to explain why, focusing on that right-hand side. Now, Cecil broke it down brilliantly when he mentioned the numbers. I'll put it in green here, just to highlight. This side is where I always worry about Liverpool. And it's because not just of the players they've got and the numbers we've mentioned, it's about actually their interchanging. And I think this is where Jurgen Klopp deserves a little bit more credit tactically. What I've been noticing them do recently, any Liverpool fans in the comment section watching this, interact with us, like talk to us about this, like let us know if this is a fair analysis, because what I've been noticing is in this 4-3-3, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been at times playing a little bit more as an inverted wing back, so coming inside, coming into central midfield. We know Mo Salah does his best work in these areas here, in between centre back and full back, very tight to his striker. That front three is always very narrow. But what I've been noticing a lot recently, whether it's Oxlade-Chamberlain, whether it's Jordan Henderson, whether it's Naby Keita, the right central midfielder has been coming really wide. So what you've been finding is almost this fluidity, this alternation, is that even a word? Between almost Mo Salah coming centrally as he does, Jordan Henderson coming out wide, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold almost moving into midfield to be not just another midfield to cover the spaces, but also because the ability to deliver a ball into the box from there is almost much easier at times.
Yeah.
You almost got more space to hit the front post, the back post, whatever. What they've also been doing though, actually before I move on to the next bit, we've seen moments like this. Did you see the Liverpool goals against Leeds earlier this season? Harvey Elliott draws wide and gets that ping from Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold comes inside in the meantime. Jordan Henderson, we've seen, been getting up and down this side. But at the same time, whilst they've been doing that, there have been moments where Henderson holds his place and Trent will overlap, so he's creating a 2-on-1 situation against our fullback. And likewise, we've even had Salah hold the width and Henderson make the run into the box while Trent covers.
He's made a good point there as well, whether that was the exact point you're going for or not. But you named quite a few players, and they all do the same. They can all do the same role, all do different roles.
That's exactly my point.
And that's what other teams in the league, I think even at times we lack. You know, it has to be a certain type of. You look at like, okay, if you're going to play a Smith Rowe, he's going to do this role. You're going to play an Ødegaard, he's going to do that role. They kind of all have different roles, which is where a team like Liverpool, whether they're on top form or they're not, which obviously they pretty much always are at the minute, they have enough players that can do. They're different types of players, but they can all do the same role, as you say, like
exactly
a Naby Keita, Henderson. Trent Alexander-Arnold can cut in, or Salah can go out, or Salah can cut in, or Henderson can go out. So that's where I think they have an advantage over us.
And it's not even just in terms of having players who can all do similar things. It's about the quality. Like if Henderson's putting the ball into the box, there's really not that much of a dip of quality, from when it's Alexander-Arnold doing it, or Mo Salah. And so that is the one thing that does worry me a little bit when I look at this Liverpool side, is the fact that they're going to be asking a lot of questions of our back three because of their movement interchangeability. Now, where I did have a little bit of a moment was filming the warm-up, listening to Turkish, and I want to illustrate this again here on the tactical pad. Turkish said that he'd go into this game with a back five and he'd bring Gabriel in. And this is how he basically illustrated. Lacazette would be the one up front. I think he basically said Aubameyang, he wasn't sure if he was going to be fit. So he'd take Aubameyang out and we bring in Kieran Tierney. And we basically make that a back five. And at the time I thought, I don't really want to be losing too much in midfield because that's where Liverpool can dominate. But then I just sort of thought to myself, they're going to dominate anyway, really. Whether we have a 3 or a 2 or we play a diamond. We saw Emery go with a diamond a couple of years back. They still dominate in midfield. So actually, does it really matter what we do in midfield? Are we better off just going with a more condensed back 3, back 5 shape, which Arteta's had a lot of joy against Liverpool doing? He did it when he beat them 2-1. I think he did it when we beat them 2-1 at the Emirates, although now I'm having doubts. He definitely did it though in the Community Shield, and he definitely did it in the Carabao Cup. What I like about this is it kind of deals with that exact Liverpool threat. It deals with Salah coming inside and that front three being quite tight. But it allows when Henderson comes wide and Trent comes in field for Tavares to actually engage. Now, what that means is Tierney, Gabriel, White, Tomiyasu have a 4-on-3 against the Liverpool back three. But it also means that the Arsenal midfield can just be a bit compact, and it allows Tavares to engage properly with that wide man. Likewise, if we bring them back and Henderson's in midfield, you imagine that'd be quite condensed. Trent gets forward. Again, it allows Tavares who's very athletically gifted, as we've seen, to deal with that one-on-one, and Tierney Gabriel-White to deal with that sort of very narrow front three of Liverpool. Now, I hadn't honestly thought about it in this way till Turkish brought it up, and I think it's a great point. It's a great point that Cecil made as well, in terms of how dangerous they are from that side. Now, you don't want to build a game plan that's all about stopping Liverpool on the right because of what they have in Robertson and Mane.
It's an interesting point. It's an interesting idea. But I think some of the comments are for, some are against. But I think,
let's hear what people are saying. That's it for my tactical piece.
Yeah, thank you, James. Very good.
But I just thought it was interesting to look at it from that perspective.
But would you change a formula that's already working? This is the thing. We don't really. I feel like you could either do that or you add another player in midfield. Like, do you bring an Ødegaard in and a Smith Rowe, which hasn't always worked the whole time, but it gives you a bit more creativity. Maybe we'll have a bit more of the ball. Maybe we can stop the ball getting. But do you know? I don't know.
AFC Cape Town says you're messing up a winning formula, James.
Yeah.
Look, I've kept the 4-2-3-1. That's what I want to see. But to give a lot of credit to Turkish and Cecil's points for wanting to go to back three, I kind of see why they want to do it.
There's ways to mitigate the impact that Liverpool are going to have against us, but then it's I mean, that's just why Arteta's in the job. It's his decision to make these choices. If he makes that decision, people might be against it. But if it pays off, no one's going to care. But if he doesn't, and then we get absolutely smashed, people are going to question, oh, well, maybe you should have changed it like this. Why are you being so maybe naive by sticking with what you know and not trying something new?
You know those Twitter spaces we do. I know, so we've got comments, super chats to go into, which we will. But those Twitter spaces, which I do on Monday night, check them out Monday at midnight. On Twitter, obviously.
On Twitter. Exclusively on Twitter.
I was asking people about whether we make changes to the 11, and someone made a really great point. They said, didn't Wenger spend his kind of last 10 years, not last 10 years, however long it was, it was nearly 10 years, getting into the top four, but never being that title challenger because he never adjusted for the big teams. He never wanted to compromise on principles. And that might be what Arteta has to deal with today. So it's going to be interesting. But what are the comment section saying?
I mean, we've got a super chat here from Vijay. Sorry I didn't read it earlier, but he said that most goals we conceded in previous matches came through defensive mistakes. The fact that we are much more formidable in the back now gives me more confidence. Might be a 0-0 or a 1-0 Arsenal.
Let's hope. Let's absolutely hope. Last bit of analysis on Liverpool side of things to go into is obviously the Danger Man. Like Cecil would let me do the show without Danger Man, but I am doing without the song, Cecil.
Yeah,
and I know he was in the comment section. We don't have it, and it's not missed. But we've got the Danger Man numbers here. Obviously, it's Mo Salah. 11 games in the league, 10 goals scored, 7 assists. Phenomenal numbers. 17 goal contributions in 11 games. 2 with his right, 8 with his left, but you can't let him go on his right foot.
A few of them came against Man United.
That is true. But you look at that right-footed finish against was it? Oh no, it wasn't. Did he score with his right foot against De Gea? I can't remember.
Listen,
but
he
did against Edison.
But he's going to cut in.
He's going to, but he can go outside. Like that's what he does to Edison. He drops the shot, goes right foot, and just absolutely hammers it. And you're thinking you can't stop this guy. I think he's currently on form, the best player in the world, and maybe we're going to have a formation to stop him because he's been.
Tyler's put a good chat here, a chat in the comments saying having only Laka up in the up front means we need more of an offensive presence from Partey and Lokonga. Yikes! And if our midfield advances, we'll get burnt on the counter by Mane and Salah. That's true. Because then this is the worry, which often happens. Normally it's Aubameyang that's up front, and he just doesn't get any service. And we spend the whole time kind of chasing the opposition, not necessarily, playing our own game. So, is 1 up top, 2 up top, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. I don't know. I'll be really, really interested to see what Arteta comes out with. I mean, we'll be live for the starting 11 live, probably about 10 minutes or so. And that'll be very interesting to see what he goes with. Ramsdale's obviously our danger man, as the comments are saying. So yeah, nice one, Jason. I agree.
I'm seeing a few people in the comment section who are singing the Danger Man song and saying they miss it. Look, guys, I know you all love it. But this is Cecil's way of torturing me. So no, but look, big up to Cecil and Turkish because they are en route. Cecil did a great road trip video. Go check it out. It's on YouTube at the moment. And yeah, they're on their way there. I really hope for them that not just for them, for us, but obviously they're doing the trip, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be doing lots of great work with the fan cams and everything after. But I just hope they have a good time of it. I hope Arsenal give them a performance they can be proud of. Turkish's first away game as well of the season.
Yeah,
so I hope it's a good one for him. We've got a couple minutes left. We're going to end on top squad. Discussing.
Insert Lee Judge's jingle here.
Insert Lee Judge's. So Lee Judge's has a jingle. Cecil has a jingle.
I need my own.
You need one.
I
don't have one.
I will come up with one.
Yeah. I don't know what for though. I don't know what I'm bringing one for. Top squad guys. Once the 11s come out, you can pick who you want in your 4, and we've not done this for a couple of weeks. Let's just refresh and remind you guys
how does it work,
what Top Squad is all about. Essentially, go onto AFTV VIP, log into Top Squad, join the Arsenal-Liverpool game, which is there ready. We're in the back room here, you can see it.
Links in the description, links in the pinned comment, it's all there. Just click the link.
All that,
take you through.
Absolutely. You essentially get 100 mil in-game money, which you can spend on up to 4 players for not only Arsenal, but the opposition as well. What you are hoping is via these milestones here, which I'm scrolling through at the bottom, so free kick, long pass, obviously goals, obviously interceptions, tackles, success, all that. These, let's say, numbers, statistical moments that players are having are going to earn them points in game and are going to basically shoot their value up and down like a stock market. So the better they perform, the higher their value goes. They all start at 20 mil and you start at the beginning of the game by investing in these players. But the beauty is you can chop and change. You can put all your in-game money on one player, you can put it on all 4. You can chop and change because it's not working here. I want to go here and there and mix it up. The point is that you want to basically go for the players that are performing best, statistically putting up really good numbers. So you're getting points and therefore earning more in-game mil to go reinvest again. And that's how it works. And we look at the league table at the end. And yeah.
Nice one.
Prizes to be won and all sorts.
People asking as well where our hoodies are from. I mean, I like your one. I got my, oh God, I don't know if it's almost not my water for the table. But yeah, the North Bank. AFTV, you can go to AFTVstore.com and there's loads of new designs there. Black Friday sale coming soon, Christmas designs. Yeah, it looks really good. So yeah, big up to the guys for making this. They are class. I've got the North Bank in white. You got the inverted one. I've got the, what's the other one? The Odegaard. 08. Oh yeah, that's good. It's like 02 but 08. Yeah, it's a nice one. But yeah, AFTVstore.com. You can also check out our Facebook and our Instagram for these. They're all on there.
Yeah, it's quality. It's really good stuff.
But yeah, I guess it's almost time for starting 11 live.
We're nearly there. Just a quick one. One player you're going to pick for top squad.
Mo Salah.
No. Oh wait.
Listen, I want to win. I might have to. But I'm also think I'm going to put Ramsdale in there as well.
Ramsdale, White, Gabriel. And one of the central.
I haven't decided on my other 2.
We're going to be busy. Or whoever's up against Mo Salah. I'm backing the Arsenal players today. They're going to rack me up the points. Fun fact, you don't have to go for the team that's winning. That's the beauty of it. It's statistical things. I actually came top in top squad when we lost 2-0 to Chelsea. And I didn't pick a single Chelsea player. So you can still back your boys and win. That's the beauty of it. You still picking Salah?
Yeah, no, I was just looking and Man United just scored, so it's 2-1.
Okay, well,
2-1 for now. But yeah, I'm going to have Mo Salah, I'm going to have Ramsdale. Haven't decided on the other 2 yet, but have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the build-up. Thank you so much
for having me. It was
Harvey.
Good to be here.
Cecil, missed you lots. Harvey, you've been superb. Turkish, have a great time as well. We'll be back for the starting 11 in, what, a couple of minutes, 5 minutes or so?
We're going to do this.
All right, we'll see you soon. We're going to do this. Oh my God, here we go. We're going to do this. Let's do it.